Hey guys, welcome to Degrees of Shining, and tonight I am wearing my Mardi Gras parade dress based on the color green. A fun look, dramatic, and if you'd like to see how I created it, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to get this look started. I've already washed and exfoliated and moisturized and put on foundation and a little bit of contouring powder. I'm going to go back in and do a little bit more towards the end of the look once I'm finished painting all that stuff on. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm using my Mehron palette. I'm going to use the white from that. I've already sprayed it with a little bit of water to activate it, and I'm just going to take a mop brush, and I'm going to cover quite a bit of my eye area because I'm going to put a lot of color. So I'm just going to cover the entire lid with white and then all the way out and down below my eye. So you can see now I have a thin coat of white. It covers my entire lid. It's up over my eyebrow and down under my eye where I'm going to extend color down out from my eye. What I'm going to do is set this now with a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm going to use Detrivore's Highlight Green, and it's a white with a reflect or iridescent green to it. And since I'm using green in the look, I'm just going to take a large mop brush. This is a Sonia Kashuk, and I'm just going to cover that all of the white with this powder, with this eyeshadow, and it's got that little bit of green. Now I'm working on a cut crease look for the eye, and right now I'm just taking an angled brush and laying down like a mid-tone green using an angled brush just up above my crease, and I'm working that up on an angle with an angle brush. And what am I using? I am using a green from a palette that Bethany from I Wanted to See One video sent me, a recent contest that I had won, and so I'm using that. Let me show you. It's huge. I think it's 120 colors, so I'm just going to use these greens. If you look where my finger is, this row has all greens, and I'm going to use a combination of those from dark to light, from super rich green to like a yellow green to create. So you'll see I have that mid-tone green on both sides now, and now I'm taking a lighter green, and again with that angled brush I'm just moiraying or fading up from the mid-tone green up towards my... Okay, so you'll see now I've started to work with a darker green, and again I've only used three greens so far, a mid-tone and then a lighter bright green, and then now I'm working with a darker green, the darkest one in the palette. Again, these colors are all matte. I'm going to go back in with shimmer later and glitter obviously, but matte for now. Same angled brush, and so what I'm doing is I'm just working that darker green into the lower part of the band of color that I've already laid down. And I'm going to blend that in and up. And you'll see what I'm doing is I'm creating a shape around my eyelid for a lighter green color or whatever I choose. So now you'll see I'm starting to work in a little bit of black, just a tiny amount, again using the same angled brush, and I'm kind of dabbing it into the lowest part of that band of color that I've laid down, and I'm blending it up and into that green. I don't want to muddy it, I just want to blend it to deepen the green, the darkest green that's already there. So you want to do it very lightly, up on an angle, small motions, and layer. So you don't want to start with a big blob of green, black and try to blend it in. You just want to carefully lay down a little bit at a time. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and put a lighter green on my lid and underneath my eye, and I'm just taking a flat eyeshadow brush, Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm dabbing it in my color, which is a super bright green from that palette. And then I'm going to spray it with a little bit of Fix Plus, or whatever it is that you use, spray it so it's a little damp. And then I'm just going to fill in my lid. Now I use the same lighter green for above my cut crease. I'm just patting that on. I'm taking a pencil brush and that same bright green, and I'm going to lay this down underneath my lower lash line, all along a pretty good wide band of it. And you'll see what I did here was I actually ended up connecting my cut crease to the lower lash line, and I'm just going to drag this color up along the outside of it. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm taking a fluffy brush, and I'm taking that same light green, and I'm going over the white that I've laid down. I'm just kind of blending it down out onto my face to give it some color because this is where all that design is going to go that I'm going to draw on, but I want to lay down some color first. Okay, so I came back and I was actually going to apologize because I had to step away for a few minutes. I promised the ma'am that I would make tortilla soup for dinner tonight, and the Grammys are on in a couple hours. And of course I forget, I'm not really filming that part, so okay, so I'm pretty much have my eyes where I want them to be. Obviously there's no liner on the top or the bottom yet, or any eyelashes or mascara or anything, because I'm going to go in now. And over that green color that I've laid, I'm going to start drawing in that pattern that you'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the pattern with the actual cut crease in my eye. And you'll see on this side I already started, and what I did was I took a green, I'm using my Mehron palette, it's like the medium green, and already wet it and created a liquid, and I'm using a very fine point detail brush. And then just using that line created by the cut crease, I went in and drew my first spiral. So now I can come back on this side, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'm looking down at the same time, and I'm just drawing right along that, and then creating a swirl. So hopefully it matches up. If it's not perfect, that's okay. You know, that's the fun of painting on your face. So now I'm going to go back and finish all the spirals that you see. So you can see I have quite a few on now, and I actually brought that green down below my lower lash line and filled in a line there so that I have a guideline, and all of the swirls are coming off of that line and then up over the brow. And so now I need to go back over and do this side and try to make it as even as possible. So we'll just go ahead up and start a second swirl. Okay, what I'm doing now is going back in with a pencil liner. This is an Urban Decay liner. I'm just adding a darker color to the design. I've already laid down all those swirls. Just kind of going back over it. This is nice and creamy and smooth.